Welcome to Hollywood. In this video, we are going to take a deep look into the lives and legacies of 9 unforgettable actors from the legendary Western film The Magnificent Seven. 1. Yul Brynner. Yul Brynner, the iconic bald-headed actor, led The Magnificent Seven as the composed and commanding gunslinger Chris Adams. His deep voice and commanding presence made him one of the most memorable characters in the film. Beyond this role, he was already world-renowned for The King and I, which he performed over 4,600 times on stage. Sadly, Brynner was a heavy smoker and later became an outspoken anti-smoking advocate after being diagnosed with lung cancer. He died in 1985 at the age of 65, just months after recording a chilling anti-smoking PSA that aired posthumously with the haunting words, "Now that I'm gone, I tell you, don't smoke." His death was a stark reminder of the dangers of tobacco use. 2. Steve McQueen. Steve McQueen, the King of Cool, played Vin Tanner, the laid-back but deadly sharpshooter. His smoldering screen presence often stole scenes, even when sharing the spotlight with a powerhouse like Brynner. Off-screen, McQueen lived a fast-paced life of motorcycles, race cars, and high-stakes living. Diagnosed with mesothelioma, a rare and aggressive form of cancer linked to asbestos exposure, he sought unconventional treatments in Mexico. Unfortunately, none were successful. McQueen passed away in 1980 at just 50 years old. His rebellious spirit and iconic performances, including in Bullitt and The Great Escape, remain immortal. 3. Charles Bronson. As the rugged and tough Bernardo, Charles Bronson brought gravitas and understated warmth to the group of gunslingers. Known for playing hard men of few words, Bronson's career spanned decades with memorable roles in Death Wish, The Dirty Dozen, and Once Upon a Time in the West. In his later years, Bronson faded from the spotlight. He battled Alzheimer's disease and also suffered from pneumonia and respiratory failure. He died in 2003 at age 81, closing the curtain on a career that had influenced generations of action stars. 4. James Coburn. James Coburn played the knife-throwing expert Brit with cool confidence. His lean frame and steely gaze made him one of the most unique character actors of his time. Coburn's career soared in the 60s and 70s, but he later suffered from debilitating rheumatoid arthritis, which sidelined his acting. Remarkably, he returned to the big screen in the 1990s after finding relief through holistic treatments and even won an Academy Award for Affliction in 1999. He died in 2002 at 74 from a heart attack, leaving behind a legacy of gritty, soulful performances. 5. Robert Vaughn. Robert Vaughn portrayed Lee, the dashing but world-weary gunfighter haunted by his past. Vaughn brought sophistication to the role and later gained even more fame on television as the suave Napoleon Solo in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. He was one of the few actors in The Magnificent Seven with a doctorate in communications, combining intellect with on-screen charisma. Vaughn passed away in 2016 at the age of 83 after a battle with leukemia. His voice, his class, and his range made him one of the great gentlemen of old Hollywood. 6. Brad Dexter. Brad Dexter, often overshadowed by his more famous co-stars, played Harry Luck, the fortune-seeking gunman with questionable motives. Dexter was actually a real-life hero, once saving Frank Sinatra from drowning, an act that sealed a lifelong friendship. He worked steadily in Hollywood but never reached the heights of McQueen or Brynner. Dexter died in 2002 at the age of 84 from complications of emphysema. Though not a household name, his place in The Magnificent Seven earned him eternal recognition among Western fans. 7. Eli Wallach. Though not one of the titular seven, Eli Wallach's performance as the bandit leader Calvera was so powerful that he arguably became the film's most memorable character. His charisma and menace made him an unforgettable villain. Wallach enjoyed a long, fruitful career, often playing villains with charm, most famously Tuco in The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. He worked well into his 90s and died peacefully at age 98 in 2014. His legacy is not just in westerns but in his range and longevity as an actor. These 8 actors, each with their own story, struggles, and triumphs, came together to create a film that remains one of the most beloved westerns of all time. The Magnificent Seven was more than a movie, it was a convergence of talent that captured courage, sacrifice, and camaraderie. As time marches on, their absence is deeply felt, but their legacy lives on in every dusty duel and courageous stand. If you enjoyed this tribute, subscribe to Hollywood World, give this video a thumbs up, and leave a comment on who your favorite character was from the Magnificent Seven. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.